And in business news, amid cash scarcity occasioned by the Naira redesign policy of the Central Bank of Nigeria, deposits from customers to commercial banks surged by the first quarter of this year 2023. Latest data from the Nigerian Exchange Limited shows that customers' deposits received by 10 banks increased by 24.4% to 50.76 trillion in Q1 of 2023 from 40.79 trillion in the same period of last year. Director of Research and Strategy, Chapel Hill, Denham, Mr. Tajuddin Ibrahim says customers' deposit to banks increased as a result of improvement in cash availability, which boosted people's confidence in the banks. He added that corporate customers are drivers of the increase and can also be linked to term deposits. And the Central Bank of Nigeria unveiled an e-learning platform, Sabi Money, to provide financial literacy and to deepen financial inclusion. Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Gordon Emefiele, says the platform is a full digital national e-learning platform that provides a knowledge base for financial literacy. According to him, Sabi Money is aimed at providing individuals with the opportunity to be trained and become certified financial literacy trainers through self-service. The platform is aimed at supporting the Apex Bank's efforts towards ramping up the number of experts that can be used to drive financial education in the country and perhaps beyond. Mr. Emefiele discloses that the absence of all low levels of financial literacy constituted an impediment to financial inclusion. The Director of Consumer Protection at the CBN, Mrs. Rashida Mungono, says financial literacy remained a key driver of financial inclusion globally. Well, let's head to Abuja, where the Nigerian Export Promotion Council has launched a series of packaging and labeling intervention sessions for local product manufacturers. It is to address the country's technical barriers to trade and labeling for exports. Lara Folayo reports.
Earlier this year, the country's export promotion authorities hosted a forum to celebrate women exporters and entrepreneurs on the sidelines of the International Women's Day. The engagement reveals the gap in local product packaging and its barriers to trade and labeling for export in the country. Sessions on packaging and labeling interventions to bridge this gap are now being launched here.
That exhibition also reveals some inherent gaps in our products, which include poor or inappropriate packaging arising from incorrect cushioning materials, mismatched sizes, misbranding, wrong labeling, incorrect or ineligible graphics.
The project is to enable product assessment transfer of technical skills on packaging and labeling, which serve as a massive opportunity for exporters to get necessary solutions for their products' action plans.
I really need to mention that the Council has deliberately chosen experts in the packaging and labeling field to facilitate the technical session in this workshop. They will impart the requisite knowledge through hands-on action learning and demonstration techniques. We therefore implore you to leverage on the knowledge you will receive in transforming your current and future product lines to conform with global requirements.
The beneficiaries are excited about this intervention as they look forward to it aiding their product penetration into international markets.
I feel great. Words are not even enough to kind of express my feelings this morning. Just as NEPC usually will, they have immensely been supporting us in every way. I've really benefited a lot from NEPC. They have been doing great things. Our farms has really been transformed ever since we started coming for the training sessions. Our packaging has changed, it has improved, and wider spread for us has been.
Products being showcased during the sessions will be taken as baselines in measuring impact of the capacity building exercise. Lara Folayo, TVC News, Abuja.
Asian stocks mostly held firm today despite weaker than expected Chinese economic data, with Japan's broad share index hitting a 33-year high on a rally in chip makers following U.S. tech sector gains. Japan's TOPIX was a 0.5% up after its highest since 1990. The Nickel index climbed 0.78%. In the U.S. overnight, Meta Platforms Incorporated Meta climbed 2.16% at the top, at booster to both the Nasdaq and S&P 500 after brokers upgrade to buy MSCI's broadest index of Asian Pacific shares outside of Japan, which edged 0.32% higher. China's benchmark stock index dropped 0.22%. Hong Kong Hang Seng index spread early gains to edge up only 0.15%, with the tech gauge keeping the momentum for yesterday's rally and climbing 0.93%. Australia's S&P/ASX 200 index lost 0.42%, dragged down by losses in gold and technology stocks. Australia has awaited minutes of central bank's last policy meeting to assess the trajectory of interest rate hikes. As elevated inflation weighs on the jobs market in UK, unemployment rose further in 3 months to the end of March. According to the Office of National Statistics, rates increased to 3.9% from 3.8% in the 3 months to the end of February. Finance Minister Mr. Jeremy, in his reaction, says it is encouraging that the employment rate remains historically low, but difficulty in finding staff and rising prices are a worry for many families and businesses. He, however, wants government to stick to a plan to halve inflation and help families with the cost of living, while delivering childcare reforms and supporting older people and disabled people who want to work. UK annual inflation remains stubbornly high, above 10%, as soaring food prices offset falling energy costs. We're still talking inflation in an effort to tackle soaring inflation that has reached 30-year highs. Central Bank of Argentina raised its key interest rates by 6 percentage points to hit 97%. Central banks across the globe are struggling to curb inflation, but Argentina's annual inflation rate soared above 100% last month, highest level since the early 90s. Now, according to International Monetary Fund data, Venezuela and Zimbabwe are the only 2 countries experiencing high inflation than Argentina. The exorbitant inflation resulted in large outflows of investment held in Argentina's peso, leading to a 23% decline in the value of the currency against the dollar this year. Economy Minister Mr. Sergio Massa is focused on avoiding an even bigger devaluation of the currency and containing inflation. However, analysts say the new rate hike is unlikely to bring any real change to Argentinian markets. Now, crude oil futures traded sideways today after mostly weaker than expected data from China moderate the outlook for demand from the world's top crude importer, while U.S. plans to refill its strategic petroleum reserves underpin prices. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude rose to sell at $71.37 per barrel with an upsurge of 0.37%. Brent also experienced an uptick of 0.43%. to sell at $75.55 per barrel. Bonny Light recorded an upward price margin of 0.42% to sell at $74.34 per barrel. And for the OPEC basket, crude dealers are offering $74.45 with a price decline of 2.92%. That's business at this hour. I'll see you at the top of the hour for